Alright, everyone. So no joke, this is my second time recording this because the first time around my mic kept cutting out. So here we go. This is the 11.3 patch notes video. It was released 3 hours ago, so I'm up to speed on time. Very excited to have this out the day of. Author this time is only Momcat. It's going to be a shorter one, not too many changes to champions, but there are a few. So let's go through it. First up, we have Aphelios. Passive bonus damage and lethality increased. Passive, the Hitman and the Seer. Bonus damage went from a base of 4 to 5, maxing out at 30 and increasing by 5 with each rank. Lethality went from a base of 3.5 to 4.5, increasing by 4.5 with each rank and maxing out at 27. Pain. W VFX now revealed when in terrain. W Blades Reach, new VFX. Blades Reach VFX is now revealed when cast within terrain towards enemy champions. Lee Sin, E base damage decreased later. E Tempest. Base damage went from a base of 100 to staying at a base of 100, but increasing by 30 with each rank and maxing out at 220. Olaf, base health growth increased, mana regen and mana growth rounded up. Base stats health growth went from 93 to 100, mana regen went from 7.47 to 7.5, mana growth went from 0.58 to 0.6. Riven, E base shield strength reduced. E Valor, base shield strength went from a base of 95 to 85, increasing by 30 with each rank and maxing out at 205. Rumble, W cooldown increased early and now scales. Bonus movement speed decreased. W Scrap Shield, cooldown 6 seconds, went to a base of 7 seconds, and then decreasing by 0.25 seconds with each rank, maxing at the 6 seconds. Bonus movement speed went from a base of 15 to 10, increasing by 5 with each rank and ending at 30%. Tahm Kench has some big changes. Devour and R swapped and reworked. Passive bonus damage decreased. Q now heals, applies as passive, and scales with his size. E shield duration increased, healing over time increased but takes longer to come into effect, and new VFX all around. Base stats, health went from 600 to 570, health growth went from 100 to 95, mana growth went from 40 to 50, armor 47 to 42, magic resist 32.1 to 32. Passive and acquired taste, bonus damage went from 4% of maximum health to 2.5%. Q, tongue lash. New, stunner, I hardly know her. Tahm Kench can now cast R Devour during Tongue Lash to swallow champions stunned by Tongue Lash. New, that's when heal of a tongue. Tongue Lash now heals for 6, increasing by 1 with each rank of his missing health when an enemy champion is struck. New, a fish of many tastes. Tongue Lash now applies a stack of passive and acquired taste to the enemy champions it hits. Slow went from a base 30, increasing by 10 to just a flat 40%. Slow duration went from 3 seconds to 2 seconds. Cooldown went from a flat 5 seconds to 7 seconds as a base and then decreasing by 0.5 with each rank. Cost went from a flat 50 mana to a base 50, decreasing by 4 with each rank. New, harder, better, faster, stronger. Tongue Lash's range and missile speed now scales up with Tahm Kench's size. New, Whack a Fish. Tahm Kench channels for 1.35 seconds, dives for 0.15 seconds, then appears at the targeted area, dealing a base of 100, increasing by 35 with each rank, plus 100% AP damage, and knocking up enemies for 1 second. Hitting an enemy champion refunds 30% of its cooldown and mana cost. Tahm Kench can take the devoured allies along for a ride. Allies can always eject before the channel finishes. Enemies cannot see where Tahm Kench is headed until 0.75 seconds into the channel. Cooldown went from a base of 24 to 21, decreasing by 1 second with each rank. Cost went to a base 60, increasing by 15 mana with each rank. E, Thick Skin. Shield duration went from 2 seconds to 2.5. Gray health healing over time, slightly increased to 10% maximum health per quarter second. Time before gray health healing went from 2.5 seconds of not taking damage to 4 seconds. R, devour, new, hook, line, and dinner. Tahm Kench swallows a target champion for up to 3 seconds. If the target champion is an enemy, they must have 3 stacks of passive and acquired taste and take 100, 250, or 400 plus 15% plus 5% per 100 AP, maximum health as magic damage. Tahm Kench is also grounded and slowed by 40% movement speed. If the target champion is an ally, they are granted a 300 increasing by 150 per rank plus 100% AP shield that lasts for 2.5 seconds after Devour ends. Tahm Kench is also grounded and slowed by 40, 25, 10% movement speed, but can still cast a W Abyssal Dive. Tahm Kench's allies can see when Devour is available on his health bar. Enemies cannot. Next we have Viego. Q healing from minions decreased, E base bonus movement speed, missile speed, and zone length increased. Q, Blade of the Ruined King. Healing from minions went from 100% to just 50%. E, Harrowed Path. Bonus, base bonus movement speed went from a base of 20 to 25, increasing by 2.5 with each rank, maxing out at 35%. Missile speed went from 1,000 to 1,200. Missile zone length went from 700 to 775. Last for champions, we have Xayah. Q base damage per feather blade and maximum total damage increased. Q, double daggers. Base damage per feather blade went from a base of 45 to 50, increasing by 15 with each rank and maxing at 150. Base maximum total damage went from 90 to 100, increasing by 150 with each rank and maxing out at 300. Next we have items, and there's a few new ones to go over. Anathema's Chains. Base stats, total cost is 2,500 gold. Build path is Giant's Belt, Kindle Gem, and 800 gold. Health 650, ability haste 20. Effects, Vow active. Choose a nemesis to start building a vendetta over 60 seconds. Has global range, must be used out of combat, and can be used while dead. 90-second cooldown. Vendetta, take 1% reduced damage from your nemesis per vendetta stack. This damage reduction starts at 0% and stacks up to 30% over 60 seconds. Vengeance, at max stacks, your nemesis has 20% reduced tenacity while near you. New Hullbreaker. Base stats, build path is Pickaxe, Phage, and 825 gold. Attack damage is 50, health 300, health regen 150%. Effects, passive. While no allied champions are nearby, gain 20 to 45 armor and magic resist, levels 9 through 18, and deal 20% increased damage to towers. Large minions nearby also gain 60 to 135 armor and magic resist, and deal 200% increased damage to towers. Next we have lots of mobility item changes. Stride Breaker, health went from 200 to 400, attack damage 45 to 40, removed the dash. New, Slasher and Prancer. Halting Slash can now be cast while moving. Halting Slash damage went from 75% AD to 100%. Slow went from 40% decaying over 2 seconds to 90% decaying to 40% over 3 seconds. Cooldown went from 20 seconds to 15 seconds. Heroic Gate bonus movement speed went from 30 to 20. Mythic passive bonus movement speed went from 3% to 2%. Dream Shatter, Orin's upgrade health is 300 to 500, and the attack damage for Dream Shatter Orin's upgrade is going from 55 to 50. Gale Force, Mythic passive bonus movement speed went from 3% to 2%. Typhoon, Orin's upgrade, Mythic passive bonus movement speed is the same. Clickbang, movement speed went from 10% to 8%. Ability power went from 70 to 75. Cosmic Drive ability power went from 75 to 80. Spell Dance bonus movement speed went from 10 to 30, levels 1 to 18, to just a flat 20. Black Cleaver, health went from 400 to 450. Rage bonus movement speed per stack of Carve went from 5 up to 30 to 3 up to 18. Dead Man's Plate, Shipwrecker build up duration went from 6 seconds to 4 seconds. Shipwrecked max bonus movement speed went from 60 to 40. And Shipwrecked on hit bonus damage went from 1 magic damage per stack up to 100 to 1 physical damage per stack plus 100% base AD up to 40. Trinity Force, attack damage went from 30 to 35. Threefold Strike bonus movement speed went from 25 to 20. Infinity Force Orin's upgrade attack damage went from 40 to 45. Death's Dance, Defy Heal, 10% of your maximum health has now changed to 15% of your maximum health, and they removed Death's Walk. Champion takedowns no longer grant 30% bonus movement speed for 2 seconds. Shurila's Battle Song, Inspire bonus movement speed went from 60% decaying to 30% over 2 seconds to a flat 30%. Shurila's Requiem, Orin's upgrade, Inspire bonus movement speed, also went from the 60% decaying to 30% to just a flat 30%. Prowler's Claw, cooldown went from 60 to 90 seconds, lethality 21 to 18. Sand Swipe targeting went from any enemy unit to only enemy champions. Sandstrike's Claw, Orin's upgrade lethality, went from 29 to 26. Mana Mythics, Liandry's Anguish combined costs went from 1,200 gold to 1,000. Ludens Tempest went from 1,250 gold to 1,050. Everfrost, 450 gold to 250 gold. Moonstone Renewer, Starlight Grace heal and shield power went from 6% per stack with a max of 30% to 7% per stack, max of 35%. Divine Sunderer went from Spellblade empowered on hit damage, 12% of target's maximum health, to 12% melee, 9% ranged of target's maximum health. Some runes changes include Nimbus Cloak, bonus movement speed, stays at a base of 5% for 2 seconds, but instead of maxing out 35% for 2 seconds, is now 25%. Ghost Poro, granted sight duration went from 60 to 90 seconds. Enemy revealed duration went from 4 seconds to 6 seconds. Turret update. Inner turrets and side lanes, top and bottom, now grant an additional 250 local gold. All turret inventories now show how much local gold they give once destroyed. Smite changes. Challenging and Chilling Smite now have a change of damage to minions from 900 true damage to 500 plus 10% of target's max health true damage. ARAM balance changes. So here are the buffs. These are all in percentages. Akali went from plus 5 dealt, minus 5 taken to plus 10 dealt, minus 10 taken. Gwen went from normal to plus 5 dealt, minus 5 taken. Hecarim plus 5 dealt, minus 10 taken to 10 dealt, 10 minus 10 taken. Kiana went from plus 10 dealt, minus 15 taken to plus 15 dealt, minus 15 taken. Rammus went from just minus 5 taken to plus 5% dealt, minus 10 taken. Rek'Sai went from 10 dealt, 12 taken to 10 dealt, minus 15 taken. Next we have Udyr, plus 10 dealt, minus 10 taken, plus 10 shielding to plus 10 dealt, minus 15 taken, plus 10 shielding. Nerfs include Camille, plus 10 dealt, minus 10 taken, plus 10 shielding to plus 10 dealt, minus 5 taken, plus 10 shielding. Dr. Mundo went from normal to plus 5 taken. Trundle went from plus 5 taken to plus 5 taken, minus 5 healing. Zyra, minus 6 dealt, plus 6 taken to minus 10 dealt, plus 5 taken. And lastly, if you didn't get lost in all that, Warmog's armor went from 6 seconds champion damage cooldown, 3 seconds non-champion damage cooldown, to 8 seconds champion damage cooldown, and 4 seconds non-champion damage cooldown. Last, before the skins, we have bug fixes and QOL changes. Fix a bug where, when disguised, Nico's purple bar from passive Inherit Glamour displayed the selected ally's health instead of her current health. Updated Dr. Mundo's attacks with E Blunt Force Trauma to feel less sluggish between basic attacks. Fix a bug where Dr. Mundo's passive, Goes Where He Pleases, did not go on cooldown when blocking Mordekaiser's R Realm of Death. Updated Corporate Mundo, El Macho Mundo, Executioner Mundo, Mr. Mundo vs. Mundo Mundo, and TPA Mundo's Q Infected Bonesaw to be more visible when used in brushes. Fix a bug where Cyan was able to respawn in his current location if his passive, Glory and Death, lasted longer than his death timer's duration. Grounded and Silence debuffs from AoE abilities. For example, Singed W, Soraka's E, Cassiopeia's W, and can no longer be removed with Cleanse if the player is in the ability's AoE. The support tab now properly appears over the popular filter in the in-game shop. Star Guardian Jinx's lines will now play when she purchases an item. Static Shiv's purchase lines are now relocated to Stormrazor. Fix a bug where Felios would heal from spells inside basic attacks when using R Moonlight Vigil with Severum. Fix a bug where Mega Nar's base attack damage from his passive Rage Gene was inconsistent with its tooltip. Fix a bug where Rammus's QSFX volume was affected by his VO. In this patch, we're going to get Project Z Prestige Edition, Astronaut Maokai, Rammus, Viger, and Corki, and all of these also come with their own set of chromas. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was helpful for you. As always, if you have suggestions, please let me know in the comments below, or you can reach out to me on social media or Discord. And if you want to get notified when these come out, just make sure to subscribe. Hope you have fun with this patch.